Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? What we're going to be talking about right now are current events and world news, okay? Um so grab your coffee, right? Maybe a snack or two. Let's get into it, okay? So this first topic that I want to discuss is Instagram. Okay. And this has to do with what's happening tonight, the big event, right on. Instagram has announced that it accidentally, yeah, changed users' default settings to limit political content ahead of tonight's presidential debate. And the change applies to all users, even if you have previously turned off the settings. Several Instagram users spoke out after noticing that their settings had been changed to limit political content, which is an option created by the parent company Meta, or Facebook, whatever, in February, ahead of tonight's first 2024 debate. Now, Meta spokesperson, his name is Andy Stone, said that the resetting of users' limits on political content was an error and should have never happened. But yet, on February 9th of this year, Meta announced that Instagram and Threads would soon begin limiting political content. So, contradiction here. So the announcement did not say it would change all users' settings to a limited politics default. So the second thing that I want to talk about is a train derailment. Yes, another train derailment. But this one happened in Matteson, and that's Matteson, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago. It has prompted evacuations due to a hazmat situation, and officials are investigating a leaking train car. Now, multiple cars derailed from the Canadian National Railway, or CNP. It's a train near the 21,000 block of Main Street at approximately 10:45 a.m. And it wasn't immediately clear what substance was leaking from the train car, but they did notice a white powdery substance that was seen leaking from one of the cars that was tested. And they said, no, don't worry, it's not hazardous. I know, I roll. So residents within 1 mile south of Main Street and 217th Street and 1 mile west of Main Street and a quarter mile east of Main Street will need to evacuate as a precaution. Now, this mandatory evacuation also includes residents living on Main Street from the tracks south to Sauk, and that's SAUK Trail, and residents living at 218th Street and 218th Place and Charles Street. Residents should plan for a long-term evacuation and take any medications and supplies that you may need. And multiple cranes have arrived at the scene of the train derailment in Matteson, and Canadian National is the company that they say that 10 rail cars carrying various substances have derailed. So the third thing that we're going to be talking about right now is Finland, the country of Finland. They will become the world's first country to start ticketing humans against the bird flu. Yay. So this European country plans to offer preemptive bird flu tickets as soon as next week. And health authorities say that they will provide the ticket to workers that have exposure to animals. So this is great. So now the fear-mongering campaign to ticket high-risk workers against the bird flu is now hitting American Airways. Yeah, because, they just love to fear-monger people all the time. So get it, get it, get it. Hurry up, quick. So the final thing that we're going to be talking about is our cell phone coverages and the companies. Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. So if you have one of these and you are not necessarily going to be going overseas or anything like that, but if you have friends or family that are deployed, you might want to listen up. They have reported outages for American customers that are traveling abroad. An international roaming outage has left customers unable to connect and make calls outside the country. Okay, so if you have your husband or your wife or one of your kids or whatever the case may be is deployed right now and they are overseas, listen up. T-Mobile said that uh, they are one of the several providers that is being impacted by a third-party vendor's issue that is intermittently affecting some international roaming service. Meanwhile, Verizon said about 30% of its customers' calls and data connections from overseas are not going through right now. And the AT&T network is operating normally, but some customers that are traveling internationally may be experiencing service disruptions due to an outside issue. That's what AT&T is saying. But the issue stems from an international third-party communication provider called Syniverse, and that's SYNIVERSE, which manages international roaming connections for various carriers. And in a company statement, Syniverse said it started to experience connectivity issues affecting mobile users starting this morning, so Thursday morning. Okay. So if you have anyone that you know of that is deployed overseas and you can't get a hold of them, this is why. Okay. It's not necessarily meaning that there's something wrong. It's either Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile. Okay. All right, guys, that's all for this video. I will see you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping, and as always, fearless. Ciao.